Hi, you're here with Michelle, your nonprofit professional here. I haven't come on for a while and done a video, a segment on anything because I've been so busy this year, just trying to help and change the world and be a change maker, a visionary leader. And I wanted to come on here and talk about some things that I've been working on that might help your nonprofit, might help you if you're a community leader, might help you if you have a new nonprofit and or if you're a current thriving organization, how you can better your organization. Because one thing about nonprofit organizations and businesses, it's always important to continue growing, continue being creative, and continue to find new ways to be engaging with the community, to find new ways to bring in new revenue, funding, whatever it is, and building those relationships. So, um, as many of you know, I balance a lot of hats. I'm not only a mom, but I'm a military and law enforcement spouse. I am a consultant with my business. I write grants for nonprofits that I have represented for quite some time. Ones that I'm passionate about because I'm a veteran and I believe that we should be helping our disabled veterans, our military, and faith based organizations. I took on a client in January and actually went on their payroll. I became their director of development. I've been in this role before and I knew what to expect, but I also knew kind of what I was rolling into because I had represented him for quite some time. So we have moved along very quickly and done some amazing things in a very short amount of time. When I reflect on my content from last year and my files and everything else, I think about, how much we've done. And it's actually really amazing. So right now, I am working with a couple people to engage and to improve the social media footprint. And social media footprint for my role is important because that's a relationship maker. That's where we go in. And with social media being such a big thing right now, it's really, really important as a nonprofit or business to go out there just like I'm doing now and engage, kind of meet your viewer where they're at and hope that you might have made them think for a moment, made a light bulb click, or maybe given them an idea to go and volunteer or just get involved or maybe to even donate. Well, we're working on that. And at the same time, we're working on a new CRM. I have experience with CRMs. Again, I always tell people it's not really my favorite thing, but I know it's essential and it's necessary. And we got to have it. And what I find a lot because of who I've represented in the past is that a lot of people get it through grants. They don't utilize it. They don't have the manpower to utilize it. So who we are with that kind of situation prior to me, and now we're invested. And it was really amazing because yesterday we got an email. Somebody noticed. Somebody noticed the work. Somebody donated and wanted to pay it forward for someone else that couldn't afford to sponsor something. And that is why I'm here. Yes, we all need a job. Yes, we all need money. Who doesn't, right? But my whole reason since the beginning when I was younger was to give, to have an impact, to maybe change somebody's life. And it's just me. I'm really just like anybody else. But I have been in the nonprofit world for so long that I have been on the very bottom and worked my way up. And I have a respect for everybody that plays a role in a nonprofit organization. And I have got to spend my summer meeting people in person, having virtuals, of course, working on grants. I've written some amazing grants. I've actually found some amazing grants, not only for my role that I'm in, but for my clients. And when you get a great letter from a client you've had for years and they say to you, I see you being with us for X amount of more time. And I'm thinking that is really the best compliment because you're doing it partly because part of you believes in their impact. Part of you is that impact because you see what they're doing and you're also part of that. And you want to make a difference for people that need those resources. And with federal funding cut in January of 2025, it's really altered a lot of nonprofits. And none of the ones, everybody that I'm representing and the one I'm in this role with, everybody's impacted some way, somehow. And you got to find a way to be creative. So my brain has not really turned off lately because I'm constantly coming up with creative strategies, creative ideas for 2027. Moving into quarter four, there's so many goals from marketing to grants to the campaigns we've done. And honestly, some of them came from great partnerships and business colleagues that I've had for years, in this great uh, just experience where I made authentic relationships a long time ago that were built. I didn't have to go run and find some great new ones when I moved into this. I was able to carry some with me, find a way to help them. And I knew that they could better the organizations I represent. And I'm really happy because I've been able to bring quite a few people that I have partnered with, collaborated with. They've given time, they've given funding. And that's really what it's about is people. And I am just blessed every day that I'm in this role. And no, I again am just nobody. I mean, I say that because I work with some people that are somebody. Like I work for the president of Henrico Police Athletic League, which is a retired NBA player, Johnny Newman. Some of you may be familiar who that is, and others may not. I am. I loved watching the NBA basketball like when I was growing up, and I know who Johnny is, and I know who Reggie Miller is, and Michael Jordan, and Scottie Pippen, and everybody else. And Dennis Rodman. And, that speaks volumes of my age. But Johnny Newman, it's amazing to be able to sit down and he's just a person. He's just a human being that's trying to help. He's been part of the organization for 20 years. He is more than just what people see of him in this spotlight. And, we are a team. Again, I've come in to offer assistance in areas that I have talent in, just like Johnny has talent in basketball. And it really takes a team to do that. And in that part, nobody's entitled, nobody is better, everybody's the same. And we all have a common goal for the better of the communities to help the youth, to help law enforcement break those barriers and humanize the badge, and to create a better future for youth that are underserved, right? So, with this said today, I have so many moving parts and I could talk about so many logistics, and I will come back on here, but I've been posting shorts, showing you different content, interviews, showing you some background, and I do it more than just the views or who I'm engaging. I'm trying to shift and change a mindset and get people to understand it's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of sacrifices. My family and I have made a lot of sacrifices our entire existence of our family. And part of that is because I am that dual military and law enforcement spouse. And my husband's had to sacrifice, and I had to find my way and navigate it and figure out where my talent and educational background would fit. And I can tell you that from the beginning, I never envisioned where I am now. When I met my husband, I got him involved in Special Olympics, and I knew the nonprofit world was something I wanted. But I went into education and gave time in nonprofits, and then that kind of just built in and manifested into something. And I tell people, when you have a goal and you manifest it, you can visualize it, do it. Don't hesitate. There's a couple things where I wish I wouldn't have dragged my feet on because my husband was pushing me to do it, and I felt resistant because I was like, nah, you've done this and you've sacrificed this. But at the end of the day, if I was younger and I had to do it all over, I would have done it differently. But it would have brought me to this incredible moment of realization this year that I'm able to honestly have a greater impact, and my circles are bigger, and I'm able to really serve and have a purpose with people. And I do believe that's what makes me a visionary leader. I used to think I was more of a thought leader, but I am more of a visionary leader. And I love connecting people, teaching, educating, and aligning the right people to the right rooms. And I have learned how to do things in the last decade that I never quite got, but I had some great knowledge and experience doing in the education world, but I was able to carry things I didn't quite know how to do and really just do the work. I can mention David Goggins. I can mention some other mindset leaders where I'm really about that drive. My mind never shuts off. I set my goals, I get it done. And when I set my mind to something, I follow through, and very driven in that sense. And I'm really about the impact, the sustainability. And yes, some of the greatest visionary leaders like Elon Musk are amazing and they have billions of dollars. I do not, but I do drive by purpose and alignment and that mindset, just like David Goggins, just like a couple other military well-known leaders. Um, and I think those mentors I've had in the military, um, and community officials that I've had for years, and also the nonprofit realms and national nonprofits that I've been a part of have really given me that baseline of my drive. So, with this said, what I want you to carry with you is growth, sustainability, impact, whatever it takes to take your mission and your story and go out there and tackle it and grow it into something that you know it is worthy of. Don't just settle for where you're at. And if you hit snags, it's pretty common in nonprofits, just like it's in businesses. Can't tell you how many times I hit a snag in my business or hit, or the timing, but I had great mentors along the way that I would call that helped me brainstorm, that helped me figure it out and take those steps when I was a little unsure. Because if you're uncomfortable, that means you're growing. That means you're making something worthwhile happen and your vision just manifests. So don't be afraid to do that, folks. Don't be afraid to do something amazing and go big. So, with that said, thank you for tuning in with me, Michelle, your nonprofit pro, probably your favorite nonprofit pro if you're tuning into my channel, because there's many people like me. And with that said, I hope you have an amazing rest of the summer. Take care and keep driving for your dreams.